Hello, everyone, and welcome to my newest podcast. I'm your host, R. Leland Avellino, and this is American Patriot. Folks, I want to thank you for joining me on my newest podcast, and I just wanted to speak briefly about all this waste and fraud that is being found in the government these days. It's just unbelievable how much waste and fraud in your government on your taxpayer dollars is being found by DOGE, this Department of Government Efficiency. My first question is, I would just like to know, why has this never been looked into before by any other administration? And why is Donald Trump the first one who has ever looked into this? And now we are finding that these fraud is in the billions and will possibly be in the trillions before it's all said and done. And I just wonder how something like this could be happening with your taxpayer dollars and my taxpayer dollars. Friends, I worked all my life paying taxes and putting money into the system. And to think my money over the years has been so badly abused, it's hard for me to comprehend. So I just wanted to speak on this briefly. The next thing I'd like to say is that I don't see any Democrat or anyone from the Democratic side coming out and saying, my goodness, look at all this government waste. We need to help our president and his administration find out where all this waste has come from. But no, not one word, not a peep. They all just sit back and complain about how everything the administration is doing is unconstitutional and they don't have the power. And the president, who's the head of the executive branch, doesn't have the power to hire people and fire people in the administrative state, in the executive branch. I just don't understand it myself. And so I wanted to just touch on this briefly to say that I've been watching this. It's still an ongoing thing. It's a work in progress. So this will take many more months to find out exactly the full extent of this. And of course, the Democrats and your liberals and all these attorney generals from these various leftist states, of course, they all want to take this to court, let the courts decide, which is just going to be a long, dragged out procedure, which I am confident that in the end, if it goes to the Supreme Court ultimately, that they will rule in favor of the president and his administration. Because there are three branches in the Constitution. The executive branch, which the president is the executive branch, the legislature, and the courts. Those are the only three branches that are in the Constitution. All these judges, these lower courts, all this other stuff has been administered and applied by the government. And so now you have these bureaucrats that are all deeply embedded, what I call the basement, underground hypocrisy and the administrative state, which definitely needs to be looked into. So I just wanted to touch on this subject very briefly with you. I'll have more podcasts on this in the future, just to let you folks know what I find and what my opinion and analysis is on this particular subject. But what I would like all my listeners and followers to do out there is contact your congressmen and your United States senators, whether they be Democrat or Republican, and let them know that you want this checked into, that you want this to move forward. And for all the ones on the Democrat side, they need to help out and tell the administration, hey, we're here to do whatever we can to help you to find out where this fraud has come from, where this money is going to, because the list is just too long for me to mention here on this short podcast. So please contact your congressman and your United States senators and let them know you want this checked into thoroughly. I hope Pam Bondi will look into this. And now that Kash Patel is the head of the FBI, I hope he will look into a lot of this. And that I hope that there will be prosecutions that will come from this and be forthcoming and be transparent so that all of America can find out where your taxpayer money has been going for decades. And so until my next podcast, this is your host of American Patriot, R. Leland Avellino, saying, thanks for listening. I hope to see you on my next podcast, and take care.